Hey, how you doing? You want to know about insurance? Great. In this video, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. Well, let's get right to it. And before that, intro.
Okay, I'm home.
Hey, what's up, Kelly?
Great, man. I hope I don't break your chair.
Well, if you break my chair, you're going to have to buy me a brand new one.
Used okay?
How is a brand new used one? Like, isn't that an oxymoron?
It's being thrifty.
Fair enough. So how's it going?
It's good,
Cool.
I'm surprised at the weather right now.
Yeah.
We have definitely hit winter.
Yeah, you betcha.
Like, we have been blessed with such incredible weather up until January
For sure.
13th now, and
Yes.
it's a storm.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't like traveling in it at all.
None of us do. But oh well. What do you
No,
do?
so how have things been for you?
Busy.
What's
Yeah.
new? What's going on?
I'm making a video. I don't know. Winter's here.
You didn't tell me that. What's
No.
going on? No.
Yeah, what's going on here? That's pretty much it. Super excited to do this, give some content to people, and what else? That's pretty much it.
Well, you know what? You are so full of knowledge,
Mhm.
so full of something. No, you always educate me on new things, and it's always awesome talking to you. So
Yeah.
I like the fact that you want to share what you know and what you've experienced with the world. So it's amazing to see what you're going to be coming up with.
Yeah, you betcha. Love it. So anyways, I know insurance is usually a pretty hot topic. There's so many different types of insurances. So, what enlighten us? How many types of insurances are there?
Well, there's really typically what's called term
Okay.
and what's called permanent.
Okay.
So a great thing about term is it is less expensive.
Yep.
And I'm going to say insurance doesn't have to be expensive, and
Yep.
insurance doesn't have to be, I guess you could say, a taboo.
Yeah.
We have to get car insurance.
Mm-hmm.
We get insurance on our cell phones.
Right.
How many times do we upgrade to that, but we bought insurance for it?
Yes.
But we work hard for our money, but we don't put insurance on ourselves.
Mm.
And there's types of disability,
Right.
critical illness,
Okay. So
lots of different things.
So how many are there? And let's kind of name them one at a time. So right now, how many would you say there are? About 10 of them. 5 different types of insurances. How many types of insurances are there?
Between, if you want to say encompassing everything, there's about 10.
Okay. So here are the 10 type of insurances you got to know. Okay. First one.
Home insurance,
Home insurance. Okay.
auto insurance,
Auto insurance.
life insurance,
Life insurance.
disability coverage,
Okay.
critical illness.
Okay.
And then through those,
Yep.
there's specific types of life insurance. Term insurance, permanent insurance. Then there's a UL or universal life. And then there's also whole life, which is another combination within investments and insurance.
Okay.
How many is that now?
It seems like there's really 5, and then they're subdivided into different ones. So let's make it easy. We'll say there's 5.
5 main ones.
Okay. So let's talk about what's the first one again?
So home insurance.
Home insurance. So let's talk about home insurance. What can you?
So as a homeowner,
Mm-hmm.
that's if you are protecting your asset,
Yep.
so your home,
Right.
or you're also protecting anybody suing you.
Okay.
So a couple things with that. One, for home insurance, you're protecting the inside, your structure, everything like that.
Okay.
If there's a hailstorm and it damages your outside,
Yep.
you make a claim to
Right.
get those repairs.
Okay.
If your sewer backs up,
Yep.
you make a claim, which if you have an unfinished basement, it's awesome. There's not
Yep.
much to fix. But if you
Right.
have a finished basement,
Yep.
that's a whole new renovation you have to do.
Okay.
That's a cost you don't want to have to come up with.
Yeah.
So that replaces the drywall, the carpets, things like that.
Okay.
But you have to make a claim.
Okay.
So what that means is you have to send it into the department and go, hey, my sewer backed up. I'm going to pay my deductible.
Mm-hmm.
Please replace my stuff.
Right.
Now, they have to determine
Yep.
what was the cause of that happening.
Okay.
Was it an actual sewer backup, or did you just overload your washer and dryer and you were the cause of it? Insurance won't pay for your own mistakes.
Okay.
So that's another thing too.
Don't they? I thought that sometimes they do, depending on the circumstance.
It really depends on the circumstances.
Right.
And it all comes down to really proof.
Okay.
So, I mean, there have been headaches, and I understand for a lot of people that they don't trust insurance companies and things don't pay out, but do your due diligence. It's always good to research, but knowing what questions to ask too.
Yeah.
When you are getting your home insurance, what is this covering?
Okay.
Because you can get extra insurance coverages for water damages and things like that.
Yeah.
Know what you have. Make sure it's also covering the proper structure of a home.
Right.
Personal example, my own insurance company, when I moved to my new house, which is a duplex, they still had the structure that it was a wood frame and all this from my old previous house.
Right.
So meaning the cost of replacing my home was not enough.
Yes.
So that could have actually royally screwed me in the end.
So in other words, to update the insurance company, what type of home you have, so they can actually analyze what it costs to rebuild your home in the event there's a fire, water damage, or anything like that. That is important. I think that's what you're...
It's very important, yes.
Okay, cool.
And then the second one is auto insurance.
Auto insurance.
We buy a vehicle.
Yes.
It's not about how we drive necessarily.
Vehicles, yes. What do you want to...
You want to protect
you
your...
want that Corvette?
You
Or
want
you want the
it.
Lamborghini?
You want to make sure it's protected. Now, specific insurance
Right.
does cost more if you have a 2-door compared to a 4-door.
Ooh.
2-door vehicles are considered a sports car.
Okay.
So your insurance typically will be a little bit more.
How about a 3-door? Remember when they had the Saturn?
Ah,
I wonder where that lies.
we'll have to look into that.
We don't have those anymore, I don't think.
Classic cars compared to older vehicles, compared to a newer vehicle, your price it is going to reflect the type of vehicle you have. Is it an off-road? Is it a family vehicle? Is it a suburban compared to a sedan?
Yeah.
So that all does factor in. It factors in how many speeding tickets you have, your age, not necessarily gender now, thankfully, but auto insurance is to protect if somebody hits your car or you hit somebody. Your insurance covers replacement, but it also covers damages to you as a person.
Yep.
So I've been in car accidents where I was rear-ended. It was not my fault, but I'm still suffering from neck problems and shoulder problems. Thank God I have a wife that's a massage therapist. But it's those things that you're protecting future things.
Right.
Now, we think of ourselves. We work hard. We're an income earner. But do we necessarily put insurance on ourselves? Life insurance. What happens if you were to pass away?
Is that the third thing?
That's the third one.
Oh, we're jumping.
That's the third one.
Life insurance. Okay.
Life insurance. They
All right.
kind of all go together.
Okay.
So life insurance.
Yes.
What happens if you were to get into a car accident and pass away?
Right.
Who are you leaving behind?
Your cat and your dog. If you like this video, make sure you smash the like button and please subscribe because that really helps our channel. And let's continue watching. Could be a turtle.
Could be.
Or a goldfish.
Is it animals?
Can you imagine if all your money went to your goldfish?
People do that.
People do that. There you go.
And that's where some of the importance of insurance is.
Yep.
It is the emotional part of it.
Right.
It's who or what are you leaving behind, and what kind of future do you want to leave them?
Yeah.
Can
you imagine leaving $1 million to your goldfish?
Well, who's going to take care of your goldfish? Who are you going to? Who's going to be paid to feed, rewater it?
No kidding.
Can't take it for walks.
A very wealthy person.
Very wealthy person.
A very happy person.
There are people who leave millions to their dogs. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
or not.
Our pets are just like our kids. If we don't have kids, So it comes down to what do you want to leave them?
Okay, cool.
What kind of lifestyle do you want to leave your loved ones?
An awesome one.
Exactly. You work hard to provide for them, but what do you want to leave them if something happens to you?
Yeah, fair enough.
It's so important. So that type of insurance
So-
leaves lump sums.
You look at, a family where one of the spouses has a car accident, passes away, and they have a family, 2-3 children, and if the wife's not working, of course you want to make sure they can keep going on with their life. And I've seen people where they actually don't have enough insurance, and if the wife's not working, like, what do they do? Like, I can't imagine what they would go through. First of all, to lose your father, your husband, and then to lose any kind of benefits, any kind of income. I just can't imagine. So.
And then going through all that too, you have to make financial decisions right away.
Yeah.
Right. Funeral costs.
Yeah. Your mortgage doesn't stop.
Your mortgage doesn't
still
stop.
gotta
Your
pay
bills.
your utilities, right?
And if you have kids, then you got to think of their college funds,
Yeah.
their this, their that. And
Right.
when a mom is staying home,
Your day-to-day living expenses, right? So.
yeah. And that's why it's also important too. As a stay-at-home mom,
Mhm.
they need to have life insurance too. It is
Okay.
so important because if you think about it,
Yeah.
if the mom was to pass away,
Yeah.
the dad is going to have to take time off of work to take care of the kids.
True. Yep.
That daycare, that
Yeah.
home care
Yeah.
is gone.
Yeah, for sure.
And now there's actually extra expenses.
Absolutely.
So I always like to show people is like coverage for everybody is so important.
Yeah.
We don't, and it's not about thinking the worst.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely not what we want to talk about.
Yeah.
But it's giving you that peace of mind.
Yeah.
That if something was to happen to me,
Yeah.
my family will be okay.
It's like a backup plan, if you will.
Yeah.
Right. So.
To me, I found that it was just so freeing in my mind that,
Yeah.
I can go out and do stupid things a little bit more. I
For
can be a
sure.
little bit more risky because
Yeah.
if something was to happen to me,
Yeah.
my family's taken care of.
Yeah. You betcha.
So now I can go do all those crazy things,
Cool.
like walking in the wintertime. Because it's icy out.
It's not that crazy. But, okay.
We're in
So-
Edmonton, of course it is.
Fair enough. So, in terms of life insurance, how many different types of life insurances are there?
There's really two.
Two.
Okay, so there's term. So there's two. Term
Yep.
and permanent.
Okay.
Permanent has a couple, extensions.
Okay.
But term, basically...
So, let's talk about term. Explain that right now.
So term is you are typically going to pay less
Okay.
and you're renting it.
Okay.
So you're either going to rent it for like a 10,
All right.
20, 30, maybe 40 years.
Okay.
What's going to happen is when the term is done,
Yes.
it's done.
Okay.
Money spent, money's
Okay.
gone.
Okay.
Or you go to renew.
Yeah.
But what happens is your premiums are going to increase because you're either 10, 20, or 30 years older.
Yes.
There's usually more health issues, so you got to be careful with that.
Yep.
I'm not saying that term is a horrible thing.
Mhm.
Term works for specific needs.
Right.
If you need it to cover your mortgage,
Yeah.
that's a term.
Right.
That's perfect. If you are purchasing something for a few years
Mhm.
and you need to kind of make sure that debt's covered if something was to happen to you, term insurance is a great option.
Yeah.
Affordability.
Right.
If you're a person who's tight on budget, having some type of insurance is so important. Term's the way to go.
Yeah. You bet. And of course, depending on who you work for, sometimes your employer actually covers your insurance also. But if you don't, you're self-employed, or your company doesn't provide that, you might want to consider reaching out to a company that actually provides something like that.
And the thing is with work insurance, it's know what you have. I'm going to say read that stack of papers that they have given you.
Yeah.
Because we all always assume
Mhm.
that we have coverage,
Right.
but we don't necessarily have as much coverage as we think.
Mhm.
I always recommend 10 to 20 times your annual income,
Okay.
where employment is 1 to 2 times. So that's really not going to last very long.
No, it's not. Right.
And because we've been through a pandemic and a lot of people are losing their jobs,
Mhm.
once you lose your job, you lose your benefits.
Mhm.
You lose that insurance.
Right.
Now, if you're a 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old person trying to get insurance, the prices are going to reflect that.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's always important to make sure you have something on the side for yourself.
Right. Gotcha. Cool.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And then so there's term, and then the other one was
Permanent.
permanent. So
So what that means, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but you're paying for longevity.
Okay.
There's a couple products within that you can do what's called a 20 pay. What that means is you're going to pay large sums of money in the beginning for first 20 years.
Okay.
But then you've built up a slush fund to pay for the insurance for the rest of your life.
Okay.
So those are great. Budget-wise, doesn't always work for everybody.
Yep.
It also helps to diversify your investments because there's some permanent insurance that you can get that actually has investments inside of it.
Okay.
But you have to have a specific license to be able to offer that to people.
Right.
So you actually have to be what's called life insurance licensed.
Yep.
So those are great options too. But remember, you are paying a little bit more because you're paying kind of like a bundle.
Okay.
2 parts, insurance, investment.
Okay.
Great thing is you own that type of insurance.
Okay.
You don't have to renew it. If you own it for 20 years and all of a sudden you're sick and you can't get more insurance, but at least it's insured your insurability.
Okay.
I always recommend getting those types of insurance on young children. Reason being, we're young, we're healthy, and it's super inexpensive.
Yeah. So the key to this is to actually start insurance when you're at a much younger age, because of the affordability, and definitely way to go. The only thing is most people actually don't think about, when you're, let's face it, when you're teenager, 15 years old, or even when you become an adult where you're 18 or 22, it's probably the last thing you'll think about. You don't go, hey, look, I need to get insurance.
I never thought about it.
Yeah.
And you're young, you're healthy, you think you've got the whole world in front of you.
Yeah. And
then you hear the stories of so-and-so was in a motorcycle accident, so-and-so was in a car accident, so-and-so went skiing, and this happened.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Yeah, that's true.
And
honestly, I think that for a lot of younger single people, it might not be as important. It could be. However, I think the only time where someone actually thinks about insurance is when they actually, they're in a relationship, they have a family, where they go, you know what, I want to make sure my family's covered. That's usually when people actually do their research on it and probably reach out to someone like you, right?
Yeah.
So typically.
It's typically younger people from, I'd say, 18 to 25.
Yeah.
We're not really thinking about 16 to 25. We're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
We usually, when we buy a house, or we get into a serious relationship, or when we start having kids. Still not a bad time, but then do it. Don't just think about it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. It's very important. At least look into it. But at the younger ages, that's a great way to start the investment plan.
Yeah.
Because building that habit is such an important thing.
Right.
I get it. Your parents are telling you to save your money, and you don't want to. You want to go have fun and live your life. This is about being able to live your life as long as you want.
With
the lifestyle you want.
Fun. Forget about insurance. Let's just go have fun.
We want to wake the fun up.
No, just fun. Let's just have fun. Okay, so life insurance. What's the fourth one? Is there a fourth one?
Critical illness.
Critical illness. What is that?
So critical illness is a tax-free lump sum payout that'll pay out if you get cancer, a heart attack, a stroke, loss of limb, loss of eye. There's about 25 different conditions.
Okay.
Make sure whoever you're getting that through, they explain what the conditions are, the severity. There are some products that'll be you have to have terminal cancer. Some products will be if you just get a diagnosis of cancer. So it's very specific.
So are you supposed to get that after you know you're diagnosed? Or
no. Get that now. Get it when you're young, when you're healthy. Because here's the thing. If you go out and take your car and you go crash it, and then you try and go get auto insurance, what's going to happen? They're going to tell you to probably pound sand, which means they're not going to cover you, which means your car's not getting fixed. That means it's out of pocket.
Right.
Critical illness is pretty much the same thing. You get cancer, that doesn't mean you cannot get the insurance, but that just means it won't pay out for that existing cancer.
Oh, okay.
So if you get it now, you're young, you're healthy. Doesn't matter if you're young or not, you're healthy.
So in other words, the insurance is only going to cover something that is not already pre-existing.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So I'm healthy. I'm not going to tell you my age, but I'm in my 40s. But I've
30s.
Yeah, 25 with a few years of experience. But the thing is, you just never know what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
And they do determine health history of your family, mom, dad, and siblings.
Yeah.
So they're going to take that into effect.
Okay.
So somebody from our own office in their late 30s ends up coming down with being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So MS.
Yep.
Nothing in their family history.
Okay.
But she was able to get a lump sum tax-free payout to deal with what potentially is to come.
Okay.
So that's tax-free to do whatever you want. If you want to go for treatment in another country.
Oh, that's a good point. So you don't have to pay taxes on it.
No, it's totally tax-free.
Okay.
It goes to you, the person who is sick.
How about for all the different insurance that we've talked about so far?
Tax-free.
Okay.
Life insurance, tax-free to you, your beneficiary. Who you've named will be the person that gets the money if you were to pass away for life insurance.
Yeah.
For critical illness, you are the person that actually gets the money, and you can do whatever you want with it.
So typically, if someone passes away, very sad. However, from the time something like that happens to the time there's a payout, how long does it actually take for a company to pay out?
It really, really depends.
Okay.
So it depends on how a person passed away.
Okay.
Was it an illness? They will quickly go through your insurance.
Okay.
Usually it could take a couple weeks. It could take a few months.
Because I'm thinking, look, for some people who they don't have any financial support, they need the monies right away to keep living. That's why I'm just trying to find out what the timeline is.
Some can be as little as 48 hours. So there are some products out there that are set up that will pay out a portion within 48 hours to help you with funeral costs. If someone goes from a hospital to a funeral, I hate to say it, there's transportation fees. There's storage fees.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling and you don't know what to do, your loved one's passed away and you're grief stricken and you can't make a decision on what to do, you might actually start paying for that person to be there.
Yeah, fair enough. So,
and
really good to know.
You don't want to be making those kind of decisions during that time.
No, it's tough.
How many times you've been on vacation before, haven't you? Pretty sure you've probably. Sometimes. Okay, when you're planning a vacation, in your mind, you know where you're going. Mm-hmm. You know what time you have to leave.
Generally, yes.
You know what clothes you're wearing.
Generally, yes.
You probably know what you're going to be buying when you get there, to a degree.
Okay.
You bring extra baggage just in case you buy more.
Okay.
Okay. But we don't plan our own lives or what could happen. How interesting is that?
I don't know. I plan my own life. A little bit.
You have a lot of fun.
Okay.
But what happens if something was to happen to you and you got sick or you got hurt or...
I'm not getting sick and not getting hurt.
Drink your ginger turmeric tea. That will help you.
Exactly. Okay, cool. So, moving forward, was there one last one?
Disability coverage.
Disability. Okay, let's talk about that.
So disability is, we usually get it through work.
Okay.
That's called WCB. Whole different ballgame. That's if you got hurt at
work.
What's
WCB stand for again?
Workers' Compensation Board.
There you go. Okay.
So what that means is if you got hurt at work,
yes.
One, you got to prove what happened at work.
Right.
Then there's a committee that's going to find out what's going on. And then if you can't work, your wages are going to be subsidized and paid for until you recover.
Right.
There's a lot more to it.
Mm-hmm.
You can look it up, Google it. He's going to put that there. The thing is, what disability is, get this on your own. Because if you go out, how many people do you know ski or just being in Edmonton, the icy roads? I've known people that have walked out to their curb, taking out their garbage, and they slipped and broke their foot.
Yeah.
You're out 6 weeks in an air boot. Well, your bills don't stop, but your income will.
Yeah.
Unless you have the proper coverage in place that will actually pay out those types of things.
Right.
So disability will cover you if you got hurt.
Okay.
Especially if you're self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
You need those things in place. My wife, massage therapist,
Mm-hmm.
If she is cooking dinner
Mm-hmm.
and she cuts her hand and then can't massage because she's got stitches,
Mm-hmm.
well, she's out. She cannot work. But disability coverage will at least subsidize her income until she can go back to work.
But she cut herself.
I know.
That's
But
still covered?
disability is for soft tissue injury or accident, or disability in the case of an illness. So if you had a heart attack and now that's a cause, which is it's an illness which has now caused a disability, meaning you can't work.
Okay, so you got the disability. The one before that was critical illness.
So you can get lump sum payout.
Yep.
Income replacement. So if you're making $60,000 a year, $100,000 a year, it's based on your income level.
No. My question is, the type of insurance prior to that was the critical illness. This one is disability.
This is disability, yeah.
But you've also lumped disability and critical illness. So
it's called disability in the case of an illness. So one, you get lump sum payout from your critical illness for the heart attack.
Okay.
But if the heart attack has caused you can't go back to work.
Okay.
Now your income gets about 67%. Don't quote me on that.
All right.
We'll Google that and we'll put that in the right comments. But it will actually pay out your portion of your income until you can actually go back to work.
So how is that different from the critical illness where you find out you have cancer or...
So you can still have cancer and still work.
Okay.
So if you get to the point now with cancer that you can't work, make sure that in your policy of your disability, it will break that down and it will pay that out. Okay. So those are always key because there are things called exclusions. Okay. Exclusions means they won't pay you out if you do this or if you have this.
Right.
So prime example is with life insurance, there will be exclusions if you're an extremist, meaning you ski in the crazy mountains. I've actually never skied in my life. I've actually never snowboarded in my life. I seriously went to a ski hill once to go ski with my friends.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't show up. Bad friends. I'll tell you who they are later. No. I watched a kid on the bunny hill fall down, break her leg. I'm like, I'm out. Never skied in my life. I've never gone back.
You know, it's pretty funny. I remember when I first learned how to ski, I pictured the snow being super fluffy and soft. And I remember the first time I went skiing, it was so not like that whatsoever. You had to exercise your abductors and adductors and, just your thighs. Like everything was sore. And then when you fall, it wasn't fluffy. It was nothing like that whatsoever.
You use muscles that I don't even think you even realize you have in your body.
Exactly. It's true.
I don't know.
Cool.
That's why insurance is so key.
Yes, exactly. Get that insurance.
So you can enjoy the things that you want to enjoy and not have to worry about, if I broke my leg.
Yeah.
Because work won't cover you if you broke your leg skiing.
Right. It's true. Well, guys, if you guys ever have any questions or comments about it, email us, text us. We'll leave our number right here. And other than that, we'll catch you guys later. Kapow!